therapy takes years. Why does NLP claim to change you in a couple of days? Today's episode, we are going to challenge the traditional claim of psychology with a technique that promises to rewire your brain and bypasses your conscious resistance. With me is Miss Yogita. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi everyone. So I'm Yogita. I'm a counseling psychologist and I have done my master's in clinical psychology. I've been practicing for over 3 years now. I'm also an NLP trainer and coach. In today's podcast, we are going to cover about NLP as Aakarsh will introduce you guys. Also,
Yes,
Aakarsh, thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
my pleasure.
It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Right. So, if we start with the basic definition of NLP, what does it mean?
Hmm. So NLP sounds, when we talk about NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, it sounds very complicated, but it's really simple. NLP is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It basically focuses on, your behavior, your pattern of behavior, your nervous system, and your language. So basically, as complicated as it sounds, it's very basic. And most of the techniques we also use in our daily life, but we don't even know that it's a part of NLP.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if I go in detail with NLP, you learn about self-awareness, learn about your behavior with it. You can basically think of NLP as a manual of your mind, if I say so, because it's that. Okay, it's basically a manual for your brain, your mind. So it helps you understand your thoughts, your language, yourself, the pattern of your behavior, right?
Mhm.
And it's all connected. So if we talk about neuro, in neuro linguistic, if you talk about neuro, it's basically your brain, your nervous system, and the linguistic means the language. Okay, it's all about the language you use, not with others, but with yourself, right? How you speak to yourself, how you look at things, okay? And self-talk, basically self-talk. And programming is all about the habits and patterns that you have learned, right? We
Mhm.
have different habits and patterns we have learned, and it's not same for everyone. It's different for everyone, right? So it's all about the habits and patterns that you have learned, and how can you change them? How can you rewire them?
Mhm.
So one thing that makes NLP different from other approaches, I would say that
Mhm.
you heard a lot of you have a lot of approaches in psychology, CBT, and many other approaches. But what makes NLP different is that it works on how principle, right? And if we talk about other traditional approaches we cover in psychology, for example,
Mhm.
CBT and other approaches, it talks on the principle of why. Okay, why this
Mhm.
happened, what is, what happened, something like that. But NLP works on the principle of how, right? So basically, basically you can just say how are things, how is the situation making you feel,
Mhm.
right? It works on the how principle, and it's super relevant in today's world because we are constantly facing stress, failures, right? And it teaches you to respond to them intentionally, right? And you can use it anywhere. The good thing about NLP is you can literally use it anywhere in your daily life. You can use it to, enhance your relationships. You can use it in therapy, of course.
Mhm.
And even a person who is not from this field of psychology, even that person can learn about NLP because it's so beautiful. That is why it's literally so beautiful. Anyone can learn about it. Anyone can use it in their daily life. Yeah.
Okay. So, if I have depression, I go to a therapist
Hmm.
who practices CBT. They'll
Hmm.
identify my thought patterns and try to change them and my behavior.
Okay.
So, if I
Yeah.
come to you with depression,
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
exactly would NLP help?
See, the role of a psychologist who practices NLP, right? The thing is, you can also work. You can also merge NLP with CBT with
Right.
other things as well. Yeah, you cannot work with it independently, right? So
Mm.
if you come to me, the work who is an NLP coach or trainer, the work is that you explore the how principle. Okay, so if you are telling me, for example, you said that you have depression, and you're coming to me and saying that I feel like I'm in a dark tunnel, right? I feel
Mm.
like I'm in a dark tunnel with no light. So I'll not work. I'll literally ask you that, okay, how deep is that tunnel? Okay, tell me more about that tunnel. Is there a
Mm.
light? Do you see a light on that tunnel? Right. I'll talk to you. I'll match your pace with my pace. Right. I'll try to match your pace, and I'll try to talk to you in a language that is more familiar to you. Right. This, I'll try to mirror you, if you understand. This is a technique in NLP that we use, right? Mirroring. Right. I'll
Mm.
try to mirror you. Why? Because I want you to feel comfortable with me, so I'll try to mirror
Mm.
that. Also, since we are working with the how principle, I'll ask you, okay, what happened, how this happened, how is that making you feel, what if I add a light in the tunnel, what if we find the map to that tunnel, will you be able to get out, right? So we are working on the imagery of that imagery
Mhm.
that it's creating in your head, right? The image that is there in your head. For example, if someone comes to me saying that they fear public speaking, right, they
Mm.
have a fear of public speaking, so I just ask them that what image is that creating in their mind, ठीक है? If we talk about public speaking, उससे आपके mind में क्या image create हो रही है? So I actually had a client who came up to me with this issue, right? They feared public speaking, so I literally asked them that what image is that creating, ठीक है, in your mind? And they said a lot of faces looking at me, pointing at me, laughing at me, right?
Mm.
And I'm all here getting nervous and crying because everyone is pointing at me, they're looking at me, they're laughing at me, that क्या बोल रहा है ये, क्या बोल रहा है ये, right? So if you have seen that movie Harry Potter, the Azkaban one, if you have seen, there was this spell, ठीक है, that professor taught or teaches them. It was all about changing your fear, right? Changing your fear
Mm.
into something funny so that you can deal with it. The
Mm.
same thing we do in NLP, we change that fear, the fear you have. What I did with that client is I asked them to make the images, make the people's face very huge, make them dressed in a Joker outfit, right?
Mm.
And then उसको हमने इतना मॉर्फ कर दिया, उस इमेज को इतना मॉर्फ कर दिया, ठीक है, उनके हेड में, कि अब जब वो पब्लिक में गए तो ही वाज एक्चुअली फीलिंग अ लॉट कंफर्टेबल एंड ही वाज अ लॉट कामर, बिकॉज वो
Mm.
जो मेंटल पिक्चर थी ना, जहाँ पे लोग उनको देख के जज कर रहे थे, इट वाज मोर कंफर्टेबल, ही वाज एबल टू आंसर, क्योंकि अब उसके सामने वो इमेज एक टोटली जोकर्स की थी, कि उसके सामने एक जोकर खड़े हैं, ठीक है, वो सब हंस रहे हैं, ठीक है, बट दे आर लाफिंग देमसेल्व्स, दे आर नॉट पॉइंटिंग एट देम. तो
Mm.
दिस इज हाउ एनएलपी वर्क्स. एंड ये एक सेशन में नहीं होता कि हमने बस उनको ये बोला कि ओके ठीक है, हमने बोला कि आप मॉर्फ करो इमेज को, इमेज की वॉल्यूम कम करो, ये जो आपको बोल रहे हैं उसको कम करो. इंस्टेड इट टेक्स टाइम, ठीक है, मतलब इट टेक्स टाइम, तुम्हें टाइम करना पड़ेगा, उसकी प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी, धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे यू प्रैक्टिस इट, you become so powerful, it becomes really powerful कि when you close your eyes and imagine it, you'll be able to see that
Mm.
same image. And ये आपके fears को कम करने में बहुत help करता है. So if so yeah, coming back to you, if a person with depression comes to me and
Mm.
मैं उससे कैसे respond करूँगी, I'll work on the how principle, that how do you view it, ठीक है? अगर आप कह रहे हो आपको डिप्रेशन है, ओके, यू हैव दैट, तो अभी आपके, अगर मैं नाम लूँ एक डिप्रेशन का, तो आपके माइंड में क्या मेंटल पिक्चर फॉर्म होता है, राइट? यू
Mm.
फील अलोन, यू आर इन अ डार्क रूम, ठीक है? क्या अगर हम उस रूम की थोड़ी सी ब्राइटनेस बढ़ाएं तो अभी कैसा लग रहा है आपको, राइट? क्या कोई विंडो है उस रूम में, कुछ है वहां पे, इज देयर अ सोर्स ऑफ लाइट? What if we add a ladder to that tunnel? क्या आप क्रॉस करके आ पाओगे बाहर? तो it's all about that. It's all about creating that mental picture. It's all about matching the piece with that person. So yeah, it's all about that.
So, from a scientific angle, what is the efficacy of NLP?
Okay, so if we talk about its authenticity, it's basically very debated. It's
Okay.
actually very debated because a lot a lot of major psychological bodies do not even accept it as do not even view it as authentic, right?
Mm.
So a lot of people who are practicing, but there are individuals who see it as effective. So what people do nowadays is, what therapists do it nowadays
Mm.
is use it but with different modalities.
Yeah.
Like you work, yeah, you take NLP, you take CBT, you take NLP, and then you are combining it with different techniques.
Mm.
So this is what people are doing. Even I do that because I don't want to claim ki I'm only an NLP trainer or coach. So when I'm taking a session, or even if I am conducting workshops or anything
Mm.
like that, I mix and match things, right? I work it with, see if I am giving you, if I'm giving taking a client and I'm giving him a homework for journaling or something like that, I add NLP into that, right?
Mm.
So इससे I don't get that tag also, and मेरे लिए भी ठीक है ये, and yeah, so हाँ, if I talk about that authenticity, it's debatable. It's debatable.
But in your personal experience with your clients,
Hmm. Huh, see, it works. It actually works. I'm telling you, it works, right? There are so many interesting techniques जो सबको लगता है कि it's NLP based, but हम real life में भी कर लेते हैं उन चीजों को, right? Let me tell you, there's a technique of mirroring also, right? If
right?
you've heard, yeah. So you don't even realize it, but you do it with your friends also, your partner, or do that with people you like also. If you're hanging out with your best friend, right?
Mm.
Unintentionally you'll match, you will be in sync with that person, right?
Mm.
आप लोग कॉफी भी एक सिंक में सिप कर रहे हो, you laugh in sync, right? This is actually a technique in NLP. Whenever a client comes to me and I see that they are very nervous, they are very soft spoken, and they are very
Mm.
introverted, I also try to match their piece, so that what happens is the client gets a little comfortable that okay, the person is understanding me. If you're here, right, you're talking to me
Mm.
like, hi Yogita, how are you? And I come with, hi Aakarsh, how are you? I'm good. You will get a little overwhelmed that what's
Mm.
happening, what's wrong with her, right? So
No.
yeah, this is how it works. You can actually work with NLP in daily life also. So इसीलिए what I do is I add make NLP and take NLP and work it with different techniques.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So for aspiring psychologists who want to, or mental health practitioners who want to integrate
Mhm.
NLP in their
Mhm.
toolkit, what advice
Yeah.
would you give them?
I would say that, try creating curiosity first, right? Be
Mm-hmm.
curious enough to, research about it, understand about it, learn about it, because it's not just about what you read it in books, right? It's not just you open a book, you learn it, and then you close it, and then you have all the knowledge. Just like psychology, you need practical experience, you need to understand it, right? And for NLP, when you learn its techniques and everything, instead of trying it on other people, try it on yourself first. ठीक है? दूसरों के ऊपर ट्राई करने से पहले you need to understand yourself first, right? If myself, अगर मुझे ही public speaking से fear है, I'll try that technique on myself, right?
Mm.
And you will actually see कि it's actually shifting your emotional state. ठीक है?
Mm.
तो try focusing on yourself, try working things on yourself first instead of like trying दूसरों पे try करने से पहले. It's actually that effective. And be curious enough, ठीक है? थोड़ा research करो, understand it, read books. There's a very popular book on NLP, I think Frogs and Prince, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very popular book. I think you should also, if anyone is aspiring to learn more about NLP, you should definitely go through that book as well. And yeah, then when you feel that okay, it's interesting and I should learn about it, definitely go and join a course and learn more about it. But be curious enough first, yeah, and
Right.
research about it, learn more about it, yeah.
So
And I
is there
think it
any,
goes for,
yeah,
yeah, I think it goes for
please,
all the other courses as well. You need to be curious first. ऐसे ही
mm,
अगर आप किसी भी course के लिए you enroll, it's not going to help you if you're not curious enough to learn
definitely.
about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So is there any other kind of certification that is required for NLP?
You need okay, whenever if you're going to get a certification for NLP, you need a certification of NLP trainer or coach, anything. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of I would say companies or people who are like providing you with courses. I personally did mine from IBH NLP. It's and it was I think a 14 days course. Yeah, so I used to
Mm-hmm.
go there, and we learn so much and everything, and then by the end of it you get a certificate. So it's just you do the course and you get the certificate, like
If
that.
anyone wants to learn NLP from you or seek your professional services, how can they contact you?
Definitely, you can reach out to me. I have my Instagram channel where I also take clients. You can definitely follow me and just drop a DM or email me. It's therapy with Yogita, and you can definitely contact me there. I conduct workshops as well. You can be a part of that as well.
Right. So I was grateful that you were on the platform, learned a lot from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
So
much. Thank you so much for having me today.
it was my pleasure.